So I heard somebody say that if someone leaves as a place or a situation and blames somebody else for them leaving, or says that this person is the reason that I left, that the person that's leaving is the problem. And I will here let you know that that is biblically inaccurate, okay? Because the Bible tells us in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22, to flee from youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. Now, I looked up what are youthful passions. So, it is a strong, immature, and uncontrolled desire common to youth, including sexual temptation, pride, impatience, arrogance, and argumentativeness. Also, that verse says to pursue righteousness. So, if you are in a place that you're surrounded by the opposite of faith, the opposite of love, and the opposite of peace, I think that's a good indicator that God doesn't want you there, because can you pursue that wholeheartedly when you're surrounded by people who do not? Okay? Or even worse, people who say that they do, but their actions say otherwise. Because just a few verses up, it says in 2 Timothy chapter 16, avoid irreverent and empty speech, since those who engage in it will produce even more godlessness. And their teaching will spread like gangrene. Hymenaeus and Philetus are among them. Now, this is the CSB version. Allow me to read the MSG version, which is even better. It says, stay clear of pious talk that is only talk. Words are not mere words, you know. If they're not backed by a godly life, they accumulate as poison in the soul. Hymenaeus and Philetus are examples, throwing believers off stride and missing the truth by a mile by saying the resurrection is over and done with. So, if you are in a situation where you are around a person who's a liar, who will cheat, who's dishonest, who tells half-truths, who is constantly scheming, who doesn't really have your back, who tries to manipulate, who talks about you behind your back, who gossip, who slanders, I think that's a good indicator that God wants you gone, because if you're surrounded by that, how are you going to pursue the opposite? It's just harder for you. So if you have the option to leave that kind of environment, to leave that person, God wants you to go, okay? And he even says, talk is not just mere talk. Words are not mere words. To avoid pious talk, to avoid empty speech. And how you know someone has empty speech? When their life does not add up to their words. So you have to be observant.